Joyful day, beautiful beings, and joy for all things beautiful hearts. Welcome back to Beyond the Story Hearts Talk podcast, where that you are a superlative being already who you've been waiting for. Beyond the Story guides listeners along the soul mind continuum. It's the SMC way. The SMC way, while guests share heart centered solutions from day to day choices to disrupt outdated narratives. Today, we get to do it in real live time. Yes, we create space for breaking cycles, conscious connections, and blooming beyond what tried to keep you small. Our vision for this podcast is that we will have a world of authentic stories, disseminate shame, inclusive communities heal from the inside out. Heart-led humans refuse to be anything other than their best, most magical self. And that's me paraphrasing. So, welcome. This is the first episode of a new year, if that's what you want to call it, or where you are. I'm being a little biased and I'm feeling some type of way about it because it's no different than kind of what I talked about in the Heart Rant Digest that I talked about, how the holidays, this is actually connected to everything everything that we're forced to do. We're taught to look outward for transformation. We're taught to buy this, wear that, become new by consuming something else. And so I'm not doing that. And so I want to encourage you in this new year to not do that as well. And so this episode we are calling not a new year, it's a new opportunity. And so this is a new opportunity. So welcome back to Beyond the Story Hearts Talk podcast. If this is your first time here, we give you a heartfelt welcome. Yes, and so welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for staying and being with me as we continue to, beat to a different beat. Because if you don't know that this podcast is a rated U podcast, which means it is absolutely unconventional. And so I wanted to come by today because we're already 2 days into what we're calling 2026. I realized something that I didn't want to let the moment pass without grounding us. May I please and thank you ground us. And that's still investing in you. It's no different than what I did with the Black Friday investment series. This opportunity for me, not New Year, is about investing in myself that overflow into investment for other people. So may I ground us. So not hyping us up, not pressuring us. Not new year, new me thing us, right? That's not what I want to do. I want just grounding us. Because let's be honest, if things still feel the same, it's because they probably are. And that's okay. A new year doesn't magically change life. It won't magically change life. The calendar flips, doesn't rewrite your story, and January 1st has never had supernatural powers. January 1st of this year, thousands of years, has never had any magical power of changing your life. Right. So the power is, no matter how many planners say otherwise, if you wake up and said, why do I still feel like me? Congratulations, you're human. Because again, a day on the calendar ain't gonna change how you feel, won't change what you attract. And so let's talk about the Gregorian calendar and just being able to reframe this. And let me be that person for the moment, if you don't mind, right? The new year we celebrate is based on the Gregorian calendar. Y'all know I like educating myself because I learned that I didn't know a lot about of the bandwagons that I had jumped on, about all the emotions that were controlling me. And so your knowledge of self will absolutely saturate your love of self, that would then bloom into respect of self, and you will never ever want to be an unlearned old version, just flying by the seat of your pants person again. And so the new year we celebrate is based on the Gregorian calendar, which hasn't always been the maker of renewal across cultures, civilizations, or even nature itself. Many traditions honored renewed in spring, others aligned with harvest, others followed lunar cycles. And so the how the world harvests itself, and that thing is a natural thing, something that can't be dictated. It just happens when it happens. The lunar cycle just happens when it happens. That's the natural magic, the beauty. Spring just springs, right? It wasn't a time that spring, they called it spring because they watched the world around them just spring up and start blossoming. And so if January feels forced, it's because it kind of is. The moment wasn't designed for your transformation. It was designed for structure, order, and eventually productivity. It was designed to, again, to get you back in the mindset where you're just going to work, and then be productive for things that are outside of you, not the things that are directly by you, which explains why we feel so much pressure to perform a new self instead of becoming one. Yeah, I talk a lot about becoming on this podcast because that's what we are. Like, we have the opportunity to, well, the world really doesn't give it, but that's why you have to take it, and you got to own it, and you got to know that you deserve it and start becoming. And here's the heart of what I want to say today, right? This is January 2nd, 2026 of a new year, or just the new opportunity. However you choose to see it, it is truly up to you. And so nothing changes unless you do, unless we do. Not the year, not the season, not the holiday, not the planner, not the resolution list. Change is an inside job. And I want to remind you gently but clearly, you are already a superlative being. That means you exist at your highest degree, to your highest form, and you are also an expression of praise. Even when life disappoints you, things don't go as planned, you feel tired, uncertain, or behind, you are still your highest, most, best, magical self because you are a superlative being. And so this is actually connecting to everything we talked about with holiday capitalism. We're taught to look outward for transformation, but buy this, wear this, become new consumer of something else. But real change doesn't come from doing outward things better. It comes from doing the real thing, honoring yourself, going beyond that story of your feelings and emotions, and supersizing your consciousness, questioning the narratives we've inherited. You might have inherited your mama anger, and now you think it's yours, and you think it's the thing that just comes with you. This just how I am, and I'm not gonna change. And the storyline that you've been telling yourself, not realizing that you inherited that storyline. The ability to disrupt old storylines is fully in your power and your control this year. Opportunity. Choosing intention over just autopilot. If we do not slow down long enough to see the lesson in the moment, we will miss the entire opportunity. And that is what I want to say. Slow down, 2026. Even in all gas and no brakes, take the slow route. Give yourself the opportunity to not be an overpilot, to not continue your life in inherited narratives that really don't honor you. And so if we don't slow down long enough to see it, you will miss the entire opportunity, the entire lesson. And that's how often we end up just pointing the blame on other people and not seeing the part that we play in it as well, if you don't slow down. So we're not welcoming you to a new year. Sorry, I'm not welcoming us to a new year. I am welcoming you, me, I, she, they, them, us, and all the superlative beings to a new opportunity. This opportunity is to be more honest with yourself, to be more compassionate with your process, to be more intentional about what you feel in your mind, your body, and your spirit. Being able to honor all those parts of yourself when saying no and even yes to things. Or even maybe, wait, let me think about that for a moment. But being able to speak and be and become in all those places, instead of just one of those parts of you getting the glory or the residualness from it, and then it still leaves you feeling like you're missing something. And that is because you didn't supersize all of you at the same time when doing the thing. And so you don't have to reinvent yourself. This isn't about reinventing yourself. Diamond off of Players Club said something so profound: to use what you got to get what you want. 2026, this new opportunity isn't about creating something new. You can actually use the things, repurpose the things, or refine those things that you're already great at, good at, or learning and exploring. I am an habitual learner. I want to confess that today, right? I am a habitual learner. I realize that I love learning and growing for other people. And so much that I was judged or even by others and myself, that because I felt like, how do you want to say that? So I'll just sum it all up. So I get more excitement when being able to do things that benefit others. And so therefore, when it comes to just wanting to do something for Sierra, it doesn't come with as much outward excitement, although I am absolutely excited on the inside. And that's not a bad thing. And what I realize is that I just love collectiveness. I love collaborating. I love coming together because I know and understand and overstand that when two or three are gathered together. Yes, somebody finished that for me. So yes, and so this isn't about reinventing yourself. You don't have to fix yourself and you don't have to rush. You just have to participate. You got to at least be on the bench in the game to be a part of the game, right? Because those who even sit on the sidelines of the games are still paid and are a part of the game. The water person is included as an essential part of the game being effective. So you have to at least participate. So I want us to say this out loud for myself as much as for you, right? So share it with me wherever you are listening to the sound of my voice. Take a time to say this. I'm recommitting to consistency, not perfection, not pressure, just presence. I'm just looking to be present in the thing that I love with the people I love because I love to do it, right? And that's why I created the Heart Rant Digest. The Heart Rant Digest, I love it because it really just allows me to heart rant, but in a blog, sometimes vlog type way that allows me to share truly what is on my heart in a fun way. And so thank you. So you're able to find the Heart Rant Digest on the website. Things are coming because I'm doing the thing. And so just again, as much as I'm being patient with me, I'm asking you to be patient with me too as I welcome this newness of being. So this podcast episode is a part of that rhythm. It's just a check-in. It's a grounding. It's a reminder that the work continues gently, intentionally, and together. So as I close up this little short episode, new year, new opportunity, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for listening with your heart. And thank you for choosing to stay awake in the world that profits from you sleeping. We'll talk soon. Keep smiling, keep shining. A better you equals a better me. This podcast uses the don't framework where you disrupt outdated narratives today. If you don't know, you know now that I love acronyms. And so I turn don't into a longer word that helps me intentionally remember it as I continue to be my superlative self. So until the next episode, until the next opportunity, I heart you and keep smiling and keep shining. Thank you.